The world can sometimes be a prison if you're stuck doing something that you never intended to. Life loses its meaning, and then we fall into a monotonous routine that gradually eats us away. But a life filled with passion and love is always a life well lived. In this episode, we are going to look at an inspiring young woman who is breaking boundaries both figuratively and literally. This video is dedicated to Noraly, aka Itchy Boots. She had a great career ahead of her, a budding geologist who ditched her PhD to follow her passion. She broke away from the rat race to race around the world and take us along with her. And don't worry, she does it solo. No camera crew and no production team. It's just her on the road, one adventure after another. Itchy Boots is a very thoughtful moniker as it perfectly describes her itch to keep on moving and exploring. All of her encounters are chance encounters, and most of the time it is unplanned. But before being on wheels, she was on her feet. All she ever wanted to do was travel and explore. Without a blueprint and funds, she just began walking. Slowly, but surely, her bank account gave up and she was left with a few €100. She was in Indonesia back then, and low funds made her fly back to Perth, Australia to make some more of it. That is where she landed a job in the mining industry. She worked there, resisting the urge to travel, for about a year and a half as an exploration geologist, and then she saved enough and set out on a journey again. Asia was a sure choice as the currency value made it easy for her. She traveled solo to Southeast Asia, Central America, South America, and then East Africa. She was on a tight budget, and she certainly knows how to save. She traveled for 2 years, and she might have taken odd jobs in between, but we will never know. She didn't care about fancy hotels and luxury. All she wanted was to be in the moment and experience life as it is. This is when she came across a film crew and ignored them. After a lot of budget travel, she was stranded. Back to the days when her bank account had peanuts, but this time she was homeless, jobless, broke, and in a strange land. Maybe she called her parents or something, but she found her way back to the Netherlands, that is where she is from, and began working again. This time it was an international dredging company, and she stood there for about 5 years. But this is not the end of the story. This wasn't even the beginning. So, back in the Netherlands, she was in charge of dredging, and luckily the work allowed her to travel all around the world. She was traveling for free. It was like the world was calling her back in action again. Even though it was work, she could travel to places like the Bahamas, Brazil, Kuwait, Kazakhstan, Morocco, Panama, and many others. Her wanderlust caught up to her, and before long she was back on the road again, traveling solo, backpacking her way through visas running out of pages in her passport. In India, the game changed and came across an agency that rented bikes, and this is when it all began. Her passion for traveling and bikes paired up with a blog that started earning revenue. Her blog had useful travel guides, almost like a universal travel brochure, and so it felt natural for her to start YouTube. In India, a hill station called Manali was where she rented her first bike. It was white Royal BS3, which was her chariot across the Himalayas. Today, the bike is somewhere in a museum, and her name written in history. It was Noraly's first time navigating the off-roads, and the transition was perfect. No more public transport and backpacks, it was just her and her motorcycles. That's when the idea struck her. Why not document her adventures and share her experiences? So, she started filming her journeys with a GoPro action camera and launched her YouTube channel. She affectionately named her bike Basanti, and together they covered over 36,000 kilometers in less than a year, spanning about 8 months and crossing through 25 countries. Since then, Noraly has been on her bike, inviting us on a virtual journey and leaving us in awe as she introduces us to new and diverse cultures along the way. Her videos are incredibly engaging, and she adapts her content seamlessly, no matter the variations and random encounters her expeditions throw at her. She provides us with a quick overview and lets us see the world through her eyes. So that's a wrap, folks. Noraly is a geologist who roams the world on her bikes and absolutely loves every moment of it. Join her in her incredible adventures on her YouTube channel, and you can find the link in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. And remember to hit that notification bell. We'll catch you in the next one.